This is a follow-up video to RioluPuppy from my RioluPuppy you ain't a stupid moron video. The reason why I'm doing this because I want to clarify on things, and I know so many people have jumped into the Sonic93 stuff over all this time. And I'm gonna look at this and read it off at the end, but really I'm sick and tired of it. Rilo, you may sound sick and tired of it, but the thing is, and I'm not saying this out of anger this time, but you've been gatekeeping a situation you knew nothing about. You also accuse me of not having evidence, and you say I have over 100 videos. I have over 100 videos on Sonic93 because one, they don't all have just to do with Sonic93. They have to do with people with similar situations. They have to do with people who are gatekeeping and allowing their viewers to attack her. Plus, there is overwhelming amounts of evidence against you all as a whole. And it's really disturbing. And I don't want any of you to have to suffer over this. I don't want Sonic 93 to suffer, but I also don't want you all to have to suffer. There is basically a lack of unity in this world going on so much. But when I saw this, and I'm like, wait, you don't understand, and then you're beating yourself up, whether or not due to my jabs, like in my videos and stuff. Seriously, this is not about Sonic 93. She has said it herself. Sonic 93, that is. You all jumped in and did this stuff, and it had nothing to do with her. And that's why your evidence sounds so well, evidence. Your words sound so convincing despite the lack of evidence. And that applies to the Wikitubia admin Roman as well as the Wikitubia page on Sonic 93 alone. It's slander. Your actions and your words, they're contradicting each other. So I'm going to read this stuff and I want to provide context. First, please do not gang up at me like Double Dragon or the Warriors to tell me to leave RioluPuppy alone. I made this video because her video is one of the many reasons people attack Sonic93 even to this day indirectly. The common issue with Sonic93 accusers and those who gatekeep in general. They refuse to watch whatever may contain evidence against them, but discourage others from watching what may expose them and or debunk their claims, resulting to talking about how many videos I have when a colossal amount of people attack Sunlight 3 is basically a no you card. No matter how old, believable, or fictitious a story may be, the context is what matters. Projecting over hearsay isn't justifiable. People can still get hurt. I didn't gatekeep the Sonic 93 situation. Rilo, your actions, the actions of the accusers, that's gatekeeping. What was I supposed to do? Let you do it to the point that you get hurt and she gets hurt? That's what would have happened. I have made a video explaining why I have so many videos. It's because an overwhelming amount of people went after a single silver fangirl and were hiding or distracting us from death threats and falsified evidence sent her way. Seriously, if you're going on about how many videos I have actually for the sake of attacking me and trying to make a point, shut up. If you're joking about it and you're confused, that's a different story. It's like knock yourselves out, whatever, don't judge, but hey, whatever. But if you're doing it as an argument, shut up. Because pretty much I technically had no choice to a degree, but to make a lot since people have asked me for help. And I noticed that some people who asked me for help, they weren't trying to solve things on their own. And some people they do, but it's overwhelming. And it's like, why can't you do what you're asking me to do? And then I learned from one or more people it's because they are afraid of getting attacked. So it's like, so you're not really afraid for me, but here I am doing this because I'm more afraid for you all, Rilo, than I am for myself. It's because I care. So, yes, I didn't like Rilo Puppy's behavior in the matter, and I had wished she hadn't jumped in with baseless info in her Sonic 93 non documentary. Yes, I was annoyed. Yes, I was disappointed. The thing is, I don't want any of the accusers to be stuck, much like how I don't want Sonic 93 to be stuck. But if I had said nothing to RioluPuppy, she wouldn't have a way to overcome this struggle. I meant to put a period, whatever. Why continue to live in a lie? Why project that I am slandering when you could have at least dived visually into videos related to you and reflected upon such? Like, where's your evidence that I'm slandering? Is it because people know you and it didn't happen? That's not evidence. That's hearsay and that's bias. RioluPuppy, for example, if you and I were best friends, let's say we went to freaking Chick-fil-A, or I don't, or better yet, Starbucks, whatever, and you didn't know me to be an a-hole to anybody. You said I'm basically a nerd who likes anime and manga. I go to like Stop and Shop or whatever, and I buy people stuff like I'm freaking Santa Claus, and you joke about it. I joke about it. But when someone says I threw a punch at a freaking bartender who was very much a pacifist compared to me, you wouldn't believe it, right? But then you look for evidence. You try to find out because more and more people are calling me out, and I'm like, I didn't do it, Rilo. I didn't do it. And then you find out I did do it because, first of all, DNA scan, they confirm it's mine. And then you're like, dude, why did you do that? And I'm like, well, screw you, Rilo. You don't have the evidence right there. You're like, I do have the evidence. I did research. But it's like, what if you didn't see for yourself? You wouldn't have known, hypothetically speaking, that I was setting you up, especially in that scenario. Now, do you understand? With your accusations, like towards me, they don't add up. You didn't do that, Ryla, but the more you were beating up over yourself in the video, the more it told me you didn't feel good about your actions and wanted to be free. And this is something you have in common with somebody else I know. I'm not saying that they're a liar. I'm saying that they're not really being upfront about certain things and they're afraid to talk about it because they're not comfortable with what happened, but at the same time, they don't want people attacking them. And it's like they ask me to speak for them, but they don't want to talk for themselves. You're basically saying, and I'm not saying this to you, Riley, I'm saying this to the other person. You don't want to get attacked, but if people attack me, it's because I'm used to it. And I don't want you to have to go through that, Rilo. But let's talk about the highlights. To anyone who sees this, I'm not hiding anything. You could just very much easily watch this video and see for yourself. The entire drama did not end long ago. It was gatekept by many. 822. The reason I said this is because Rilo is saying, why am I talking about it? Why is Munchkin talking about it? That is. Because things that quote unquote died years ago, they don't just dissipate. Something from the past can hurt the present, or basically the future. Something I say can change the future. Something I do can hurt somebody in the future, or hurt the same person it was hurting in the past. That's what it's been doing with Sonic93. Nobody but only a few of us were stepping in to grasp what was happening. And then you got a lot of people who kept going on different websites and they would not stop attacking Sonic93 indirectly. They would not stop, changing up the narrative and spreading more. That is why. And there's more to that. 1823. It's a documentary, not a beware video. This is what you said in the video. I should have put like your name right there. That's contradictory considering no evidence. I say that to you because your don't be episodes. What is the true meaning of it? You might have said it in your video, but it doesn't add up. When you make a don't be this person video, you're pretty much warning people, don't be that person. That's not a documentary. You're sitting there describing someone, well, how you see them. That's not a documentary. Innocent Beanie, Moonus and Sonic93, and myself, and someone, if not another, in your comment section called you out on this. So no, it's not okay for you to have that video up on Sonic93 especially, and to anyone else, and for anybody else you're doing this to. 1932. When I wasn't sure Rilo if I put if for some reason. When I wasn't sure Rilo appeared to cry for help underneath a message. This is what was getting me. If this was a cry for help. Because it sounded to me like you didn't even know what you were in. And that's not good. You know who else didn't know, Rilo? Bugsy. He was grieving at the time. It was not good what he did to Sonic93, but at the same time, he got weaponized. And he was grieving over a relative. So if that's something you're going through, what you did to Sonic93 and your viewers, that's something you gotta face. So, you gatekeeping it and not speaking about what you did, that's never going to help you to be free. In order to be free, you have to be willing to take responsibility. And the thing is, despite how pissed I was in my other video and disappointed in you, I want to help you to face that. Moving along, you say at 28:55, Rilo, how are we supposed to know if the Sonic93 accusations were true or not? Rilo asked how were she and the accusers of people supposed to know whether or not the accusations were true. This is completely problematic given Rilo called her Sonic93 video a documentary when it is slanderous. The thing is, you said it's a documentary. You are suggesting that you got your information from false sources, which is technically true, but you did it unknowingly. Is that what you're saying? Because at some point you defend the other accusers, which is confusing. You cannot say your video is a documentary and you have no evidence, as Moon This is Sonic93 and Innocent Beanie have called you out on, and then act like I'm the one in the wrong and I'm slandering you when I'm not. 3106. Rilo, you said I haven't even watched a single one of your videos. Well, therefore, you confirm lack of research. You're using the excuse that I have over 100 videos. You know what's really strange? Sonic Insanity, aka DHT, he has said something about Sonic93 that, oh, her voice is annoying, and that's why I'm not showing it in my video. But I want you to believe me anyway. Bag of Dudes told me, oh, I don't have this or whatever, but please trust me on this. And it's like, what? I saw your video. I saw their videos. I did my reactions to them. I did not like what I saw, but I still showed the timestamps for the most part, and I showed the length of the video still because I didn't want people to think, oh, it's the whole thing or whatever, without me showing that your video length was there. I wanted to be truthful. I wanted to be fair because you're all human beings. Seriously. Rilo, at 36:24, and this is what I mean. You defend Dunsville, Amy Chan, and Bag of Dudes, who sexually harassed Sonic93 visually and gave visual death threats to her. You're sitting there bringing them up like, I don't know any of these people. Correction. I don't know and I don't care because I know of their actions. I went by your actions. You all acted like you knew Sonic93. That's the issue. I knew Sonic93 versus you. So, what's up, Doc? A lot of you didn't know Sonic93, but you spread so many ridiculous narratives. So, I go over here, 3653. Rilo, you say let law enforcement deal with it. And this is where I'm like, let them clean up after all of you. So, Rilo, let's say law enforcement did deal with it. You know who'd be in trouble big time? You and everybody else, because they're going to want answers. What am I doing? Trying to help you come clean so that way you don't have to deal with that stuff. And not just because of that, I want you to be free and I want Sonic93 to be free. Do you understand? Rilo, you say at 4100, you can't blame me over things we weren't aware of or had no control of. You did have control of your actions. You're saying Bagadouche, Dunsville, Nico Royam, Ghosty XC, Sonic Insanity, Alan Ravenix, Channel Evan, did I say Ghosty XC already? Spocter, Boonslayer, all of these people and you had no control of your actions or even the results when you technically did. You were not being mindful of your actions. Just a robot counts too. And then two, Rilo, what about when Dunsville actually used Kiryu and her brother. They were minors at the time. And then, too, what you saying that Sonic93 yelled at a minor, it's like, shut up already. She did not abuse that minor. You cannot insert that. She didn't even know that she was a minor. She also did not threaten Melody Sugar Plum. She was being a fangirl. She was going Super Saiyan and being silly. She was not screaming all at the top of her lungs. Also, Aldwin Gajinka, her video on Sonic93 got used to be fabricated as Sonic93's own video, meaning that someone framed Sonic93 by taking out the segments with not you, with Aldwin Gajinka's voice, and it acted like it was purely Sonic93's video. So why did people forge or fabricate over evidence? Huh? Against Sonic93? All of that stuff happened. So yes, I can blame you for that because one, you got your comment section. You are responsible for moderating your own comment section and seeing what's going on and keeping people out of danger. So when Jim B7798 attacked Moondisc and I don't remember their name at the moment. I showed them my other video. You should have done something about it. But instead, you hearted Jim's comment and you knew they were being malicious. You keep making up excuses. Going down, you asked me at 4305, why are you wasting your time on YouTube drama? Here's what I put right here. Neglected cries for help. What's your reason, Rilo? You can sound smart, you can sound reasonable. It doesn't make you smart and reasonable. It's projection. I really get pissed when people do that because that's the way to manipulate folks. You're being insecure and getting very defensive, and then to your victim. So stop. What is your reason? What is your reason for making the Sonic93 video? Your real reason. You were crying for help over something, much like a lot of people, but that's not good. 4855. Me having 100 videos is concerning, according to you, when there's overwhelming evidence against the accusers, against you especially, as a whole, that is. I made these videos because slander happens to many victims. I have over 100, and that's concerning to you, and you're not worried about Sonic93's safety. You're not worried about everybody's safety. But then you talk like you were worried at the end. But here's the thing. It's one thing to be worried. It's another thing to keep yourself turtling over something you regret doing. And you're not coming clean about it. Even if you are worried about Sonic93, even if you are worried about the other people, you're not facing them. You're not telling them the truth. That's what you need to do. 4947 to 5041. Rilo, if you were in that position, I would have protected you. If you were in Sonic93's position, I would have protected you. This isn't about Sonic93 and being whoever she is to me. This is about a human being being used as a punching bag, being slandered, being attacked from different areas, and barely anyone doing anything about it because people silenced her, or they tried, and they silenced other people. If you don't know about someone by the name of OBD96, Rilo, Bagaduce was trying to silence OBD and paint a bad picture over them. Yes, people were getting silenced over this Sonic93 situation. 55, 42, and onward, I realized completely Rilo made her videos on Sonic93 as an escape, having nothing to do with her. The thing is, much like how Sonic93 told me back in months ago, that you all basically did this for yourselves, I realized more and more what she meant. I thought I already knew, but it's like y'all didn't know how to get out of this jam. And this right here, please look at these videos as much as you can. Anybody, I'm not telling you to watch the whole thing and pry your cartoon eyes out. No, no. I'm saying be mindful of what I actually have here because Rilo said I had no evidence, and I do have evidence. You didn't even bother checking. You're afraid to check because you knew what you did was wrong. So I come over here before I even sympathize with you or try at the end of this. I'm going to read this. The biggest overlooked things are actually right in front of us, but very hard to see due to multiple distractions, propaganda, brainwashing, confusion, favoritism, resentment, and much, much more. There are those of us who may support similar causes, but don't want our buddies to know what all kinds of skeletons we're hiding under our mattresses. Some folks may only disagree with you because in reality they don't disagree but want to for selfish reasons, even if it means to save their own hides from getting caught. You have folks who want their teams to win, so they say anything that sounds legit, even if it isn't. And if there's a problem that needs to be identified, they'll hide that problem no matter how much it could affect them and or the public. They make it all about public interest over public safety and concerns, especially if it benefits them. But then you have those of us who care about perspectives and answers. We want to know the truth, even if it may hurt us. We may struggle. We may get stuck in a phase of denial, but that isn't what we want. We don't want others to have to suffer from what we also experience. We choose to put needs before wants. Maybe not always, but at least we admit our guilt. We know life isn't about winning. We know that our actions may or may not affect others. Metaphorically speaking, we're the kind who may hesitate to pull the trigger on who or what you call a maverick, whether it's to ensure the safety of the endangered or the misunderstood. And if people can change, then it isn't too late for us to teach them how, because not everyone is willing, but there are those who are. There are those of us who value the world so much. Yes, we have our fears just like anyone. Yes, we're often treated like being weak is a disease. Being weak is not a disease. It is a state we've all been in. For example, an obstacle course, trial and error, conflict resolution, a fight with ourselves, life threatening battles. We've all struggled with those, but have learned to overcome them. Our weaknesses vary, and so do our strengths. Like any incarnation of the Blue Bomber, Mega Man, we've used our own weaknesses as our strengths. And like Mega Man X, we all have limitless potential. That applies to Sonic93. That applies to everybody. That applies to you, RioluPuppy. Now, yes, I did send you a message on my DeviantArt. Please do not give away my DeviantArt. I'm not making these videos to attack any of you like with a bounty of any sort. I've been trying to call you out over things that you need to actually consider doing. Except I see where you enable people to hurt folks, including Sonic93, and those that you weaponized. That's what this is about. There's overwhelming loads of evidence against you accusers. Of course, I have over 100 videos because none of you were willing to speak about it. None of you were willing to actually confront yourselves. None of you were willing to, listen to those who already called you out before me. So yeah, that's what it is. It's just not Sonic93, please notice me. Sonic93, please notice me. Sonic93, please notice me. No. It's me saying, hello, do you people not see what you're doing? Do you not see how far it's getting? Okay, there's lava under that rock traveling to that guy's Mercedes Benz. Can someone please do? Okay, that lava is right there, and other people are getting concerned. Do you not see them complaining? Okay, I tried to get your attention. There goes that Mercedes Benz. Oh well, it's like that. But Rilo, I do not hate you. I don't like the persona that you displayed. I really don't. One, I've seen that done to other people. Two, going by the fact that you are a victim of some sort, I've seen people treat other people the way they've treated you, not even try to get you out of it. That's what it's about. And I much rather help you understand and to get you out of this and help you to face yourself over what you've done to people than to leave you hanging and say, oh, hey, Riley, I'm going to give you a thumbs up. Yeah, you're awesome. And then all of a sudden you get backstabbed by me because I never told you the truth that what you were doing was wrong. You see? So no more of this favoritism stuff, okay? I'm not using favoritism. I'm being blunt. I also called out Sonic93 before, so to speak. And if you need me to put a link in the description, I will. Well, actually, I will do it. But here's the thing, don't pretend it's not there. Because Rilo, you pretended I had no evidence. And I do. But I'm doing this for everybody, not just Sonic93. Oh, but the type, shut up. I'm not saying this to Rilo, I'm saying this to people in general who come up with that stuff. Stop going by what all you see and try to understand the context. You're smarter than that, right? Anywho, I also noticed that you and others made these videos like even after COVID was a big thing. I don't know what losses you've had. I've had losses. One of the reasons why I am fueled to, try to help people is because people helped me. And I don't want to waste that. And I don't want to sit there and leave you all to suffer. And sometimes, in order to help you, I have to stop you from hurting somebody else, especially that you are wronging. Much can adversary out.